You're listening to Real Talk Sports. Please like, share, and subscribe.
When things are going south on us, we're not stopping the bleeding. We've got to be able to, I told them earlier, like that's what's going to help us is when we figure out how to be able to, if somebody keeps punching you, like they just keep punching us, we've got to be able to respond to it. We've got to give some of that back. And that's where we are. We've got to get to another level of mental toughness.
At last year, it felt like that was a struggle, even offensively for you guys. You'd shut down a little bit in moments like that. How did you overcome that at times last season?
I think some experience. I think just we changed the lineup a little bit. We decided to go to work on the defensive end of the floor more at practice, and that's kind of the issue. We don't have any practice time to go fix this right now, so we've just got to figure out, we just have to get better, more mentally tough.
Chloe, then we go Cassandra next.
Aaliyah talked about, going up against veteran teams like the Sun and New York. Just how much of it is a process to, get chemistry, especially with a young team and two new starters?
Yeah, it's a process, but there's a level that you have to, when it just gets too much, when people are just continuing to punch you, we've got to figure out how to stop them and give it right back to them. And we just we're not matching that. We're not matching that level.
Cassandra, then we'll go Scott.
You said the other day this schedule is unbelievable. It's unkind. What kind of small wins or goals are you looking for within this stretch of the schedule from your team? Especially, you talked a lot about that mental toughness part.
Yeah, I just, we missed a lot of easy shots around the bucket tonight. I think that plays into how we go down and play defense at times. That's mental toughness. We've just got to get an attitude a little bit when people score on us. You just can't let it be so easy and let them just get, do what they want to do on us. It all goes back to just having a little bit of fight, passion, toughness.
Scott, real quick. Owen, can you move your light off the top of your camera? Just add a screen a little bit there.
Christie, so much of what we saw in the preseason, too, is trying to try to get out in the fast break. But how tough is that when you're not getting stops and you're grabbing the ball out of the net?
Yeah, I mean, you can't run if you can't get a stop. And then but then when that happens, we have to make sure that we're executing. We've got to execute in the half court. We've got to get stops. We've got to find a way. They've got to have a little bit more pride, and we've got to get stops so we can do what we're really good at.
Go Brad, then we'll go Zion, front row.
Coach, as Caitlin's evening goes on, the defense against her clearly is kind of a tight focus for the other team. What are you telling her kind of, say, at halftime or after this game here about what a positive maybe you could take away from her first performance here at home, or just because she continues to figure out this offense?
Yeah. It's a process, and she's going to be fine. She's figuring it out. She just needs to get a little bit of confidence right now. I think she's, taking some shots that she normally would knock down. But Najalani is one of the best defenders in the league. And she's just making it, they're making it really hard on her. We've got to do a better job of finding ways to get her some easier, more open looks.
Zion, go ahead.
Christie, when it comes to the offense, you have so many talented scorers, but just how do you balance out just finding out, one or two kind of main focuses of the offense to be able to score efficiently?
Yeah, I think if we're going to run, you got to have a post that can get out and run. To hold down the defense on the inside, you've got to have some gets and some drags happening in the front court. You got to have some screens that are set. You got to have people have come off and create spacing. Like, that's what we can be so good at, is giving these downhill drives. I can't wait to go and watch this game and see how many downhill drives that we had and how many shots once we got those downhill drives that we just didn't finish at the rim. Like, we just did not hit the shots that we should be hitting. I can remember 15 or 14 of them that we've counted.
James, go ahead.
Christie, what do you think shifted in the third quarter for Caitlin and for the team with the offense? She had the three, then she drew a foul, and then had to swing the grace for 2 free throws.
Yeah, we started getting stops right then. I think we were only down 11 at the end of the third. We had a group in there that was getting stops, and we were able to make some shots, but we had to get stops, and we finally were doing that with that lineup.
Third row on the right.
You kind of touched on this a little bit, but with all kind of the hype and the anticipation for this season, how important is it to keep perspective with the schedule and kind of the struggles with a young team?
Yeah. We are a young team, and it's still a process, but at the end of the day, you have to have some pride, and I just feel like tonight, we've got to do a better job of we had 17,000 fans here tonight, and we can't thank them enough. I mean, awesome fans. It got really loud when we cut it to 11. They were yelling defense, and that's exactly what it was. We've got to do a better job. We've got to make the fans proud, with what we put on the floor. And I will take it. We didn't do that tonight, and that's unacceptable.
You're listening to Real Talk Sports. Subscribe to catch all the future previews and recaps of Indiana Fever games.